Hi there, welcome to your 2020 263BH Catalina. We're going to start off in the back bumper here, where you're going to find your sewer hose. Take note of those two ears there. Those are the two ears I'm going to tell you about that are going to connect to the sewer outlet. Just stays in the back bumper here. That nice little cap. Right up from there, you have your power cord. Just take note of that ear there. It lines up with this metal ear here. Put it in there, give it that 8th turn. You got the threaded collar to really lock it down. You follow that cord back. You're going to find your standard 30 amp end. Most campsites should have this plug-in. If the campsite doesn't have this plug-in, or you want to run your fridge at home, we do include a 15 amp park adapter. Just keep in mind, whenever you're using that park adapter, you can't run things like your AC. Right in this back corner here, you just got your stabilizer jack. There's a tool inside the front compartment. You hook it up to here, run this jack to the ground, and then it'll take any sort of sway you see in the unit. All four corners of the unit do have a stabilizer jack. Cable satellite inlet. Right here you have your black tank flush. How you operate this black tank flush, you hook up your garden hose to this nozzle, turn your garden hose on with your black tank open with your sewer connected. It's going to flush out any debris hanging between the probes and clean out that tank a little bit. Down here, here's your sewer cap. Just take this off. You see those ears there? They just go on that prong, locks itself into place. Same thing for your sewer hose. You got your black tank and your gray tank. You're always going to want to empty your black tank first because it's your dirtiest water, which is filled from your toilets. Gray tank's either filled from your sinks, or your showers. You take a step down here, you got your galley tank. Your galley tank is filled from your kitchen sink. That operates the same way as the tank before. Right down here, you have your fresh water drain. You take this little cap out, all the fresh water will drain out of the tank. You're leaving the unit for a while and you don't want it to stink. Right here, you have your fresh water inlet. This, you put a hose in here. This will fill your fresh water tank, which your water pump draws off of. Just a storage spot up front. Underneath here, you lift this up. You can see in there you have your propane tanks. I'm going to take this off just for the purpose of this video. You see this valve, this here. This just selects which tank you want to run off of. So if you want to run off this tank, you have it facing this way. This little arrow on the side, you're facing this way. If you want to run off that tank, you just turn this arrow that way. It runs off that tank. Standard tank, just like home. Turn that knob. Goes green. If you ran out of propane, it would be red. Right back here, you have your battery box. Up front, power tongue jack. You got your light. Up is up, down is down. Just another storage spot in here. Right here is the entrance to your bedroom. And in here is your hot water heater. Before you ever fire your hot water heater, you just want to give that pressure relief valve a pull. You see that shot of water. You know there's water in the tank, so it's safe to fire. You don't want to fire it with no water in the tank because you could run the risk of burning out your probes. When we go inside, I'm going to go over a reset procedure. The button I refer to is just right here. Right here, you have your fridge service port. Nothing to worry about there. Right here, you do have your exhaust for your furnace. So whenever you're running your furnace, you're just not going to want to be blocking that little port there because it does get hot. Just a standard outlet outside here. In this compartment here, you have your little exterior kitchen. You do have a sink with hot and cold water. You do have a Coachmen little camp grill that you can set up, as well as a little 110 volt mini fridge. Put your drinks or whatever else you want to put in there. The back of the unit, you do have your city water connection. So if you're out of site with service, you You don't have to run your water pump. You just hook a water line up to here, pressurizes the lines, you're good to go. Exterior shower. Up from there, you do have your you're pre-wired for a observation camera and your spare tire. To get inside the unit, you just take this assist handle, lift it up, turn it 90 degrees, falls into place. The steps, just gonna pull that out, flip that bottom one down, open the door. First things first, your right hand side, got that fire extinguisher. That's just like home, pull the pin, point and shoot. You got your switch, your control board here. You got your interior light switch that turns on all the interior lights in the main living space. And then on the right of that, you do have your exterior light switch. Turn that on. It turns on your porch light as well as your awning light. On the right-hand side of that, you have your slide out button. You push that in, it's going to bring that in. You push that out, it's going to push it out. The way you're going to know it's fully extended is you're going to hear the whines of the motor and then clicking. When you hear that clicking, that's when you stop. You heard that whine and the clicking. Right below that, you have your awning. You hit that button, you hit extend. The awning's going to make its way out. You're going to know the awning's fully extended when you see that little flap hang down in the back of the metal tube. So there you go. That flap sometimes sticks, so you just retract it back. There you go. You're fully extended. Now, if you ever get to 15 to 20 kilometer an hour winds, you are going to want to bring this in. If it ever starts raining and you want that water to run off, you have this little arm here with this little knob. You just take that, pull it in, tighten that knob up where you like it, and it stays where it needs to be. Allows water to run off. If you like that height of the awning better, you can do the same thing at the other side. Brings in more space to the site, but always before you bring in your awning, always making sure you just loosen that knob off. Allow that to extend back out. That way you don't bend anything. Bringing in, same thing. You just hit that button, retract. Just making sure that it rolls up the right way. And there you go, you're fully extended. Now on your right hand side again, you just got your LP detector. Propane's heavier than air. It's going to sit on the ground. That guy detects it. If that guy ever starts going off, you're just going to want to turn the main source of the propane off at the tank there. Open all the windows, allow this place to air out. On your left hand side, you do have a bunk beds. Each bunk does have a light as well as a USB plug-in. You open up this door, brings you into the bathroom. Light is on the right hand side. This is your main GFI plug here. If you ever have an outlet that doesn't work, this would be the first thing I would check. You just hit that test reset button, resets the outlets. Sometimes it goes off. You got a medicine cabinet, toilet, flusher front and center, shower, hot and cold water with that nice little swivel head up there. Come into the kitchen area here. You got a microwave. That's just like home. Nothing I'm going to show you there. You got a range hood with a light and a fan. Now, whenever you fire up this stove, just always making sure you're running that fan because this does run off propane just to evacuate those fumes. To light the stove, just flip up this cover. Just keep it in mind that this cover is glass, so it can break. Now, sometimes whenever you are using something propane in this unit for the first time in a while, it does take a minute to clear all the air out of the lines, but this time it fired right up. You just turn that knob to light, hit the igniter on your far left-hand side, lights up. To get the oven going, you just open this up, turn the light on, turn this knob to the far right knob for the oven to pilot, hold it in, hit this igniter. Like I said, here we're probably going to see, takes a second for it to start. This is a perfect example of how I said it could take a minute for it to get going. Just clearing all the air out of the lines. Okay. There we go. Hold it in for another second. There's the pilot light. Turn it up to your desired temperature. Fires right on up. Now, if you want, if you're going to be using it again soon, you could just turn it back to pilot. But if you're leaving the unit or traveling, I do recommend turning it right off. You got your fridge. Just some storage. You got your entertainment center, TV, just like home, as well as your stereo. That is simple. But zone 1 is interior speakers, and zone 2 is exterior speakers. And then you just got your, your reset button, your skip button, your pause, stop, input. Your dinette area. This does turn into a bed. All you got to do there is take those bottom legs out. That table's going to sit on this little ledge here. You're going to take your back cushions, fill in the center. Got yourself a bed. Now this couch also is a folding bed. To get that into a bed, you just pick up the bottom of the couch, folds on out. You got yourself another bed. You bring it back in, just grabbing the top, the back, grabbing the bottom, fold it back up. On this wall here, you have your thermostat. On your right is your fan switch. So on the right, you got the fan on all the time, high, low. And then if you flick it to the left, it's auto, so it's going to become an on-demand system. And then on the left is where you control what options you want. So if you hit the button once left, it turns to fan, which is just moving air through the unit. You hit it once more, you get it to cool, which is when the AC then kicks in. And then if you hit it all the way to the right, you get to heat, and that's going to kick into the furnace. Come into the bedroom area. You got charging ports and USB charging ports and plugins on each side of the bed, as well as lights up there. And then far to your right, right next to the door, you do have a nice little closet space to keep your things. This wall of the unit is reinforced for a TV, so you can put a TV here if you'd like. Just going back to the main control center now. Get your battery button. It's going to tell you where you're at for battery. Low, fair, good, or C for charging, because we are plugged in right now. And then you get to your fresh tank, which we're currently 2/3. And then it goes 1/3 empty. And then you got your black, your gray, and your galley, which is gray too. And then you got your water pump switch. You hit that. It's going to turn your water pump on, which is drawing from your fresh tank. And then here is the water heater button. So you're going to hit that on. You see that fault light comes on. This fault light's going to stay on until the water heater fires. The water heater is going to try firing three times, which is 3 sequences. If it doesn't fire on the 3rd time, this is going to stay lit, which it just went out, so we know it fired, and you can hear the roar of the flame. If this stays on, You then have to turn this switch off, go to the water heater, hit that little black button I was telling you about, and you're good to go. That's about it for this unit here. If you have any other questions, feel free to give us a call.